Good morning. I'm Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms Chats. We're going live around 9 a.m. on weekdays to share resources that will help parents while their kids are learning at home. And we have a special guest today. We have Anandita Gupta. Oh, did I say that right? I got it right. Okay, good. Okay, so she is a kindergarten teacher at the School of Science and Technology Northwest, which is a really fun charter school. They're full of creativity and ideas, and so she is sharing a set of early learning activities. So these are great for preschoolers and kindergartners, but siblings can join in as well. And and you have two daughters, and do they both go to SST?
My younger one will go to SST this year. My older one is going to be second grade.
Oh, that's great. And so, you got them involved with kind of testing, like play testing these ideas to write up for the blog post, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, so I want to encourage everyone to please look at the description of the video, and there's a link to the blog post on our site, and it's part of our at-home learning activities that we're presenting while a lot of campuses are closed and families are doing learning at home. So, Ms. Gupta, I want to jump into the activities. So, you write in the post that you love summers because you get to be a teacher for your own children. And part of it is kind of setting up a schedule and having a mix of activities. So tell me about how that works.
So for this time, we have started earlier since spring break. We have been doing distance learning. So I'm a big time into scheduling. I love when children are structured, and it helps us as an adult and them as children. So for right now, we are doing 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of math for my older daughter. And then there will be a little bit of optional writing, science, and social studies. And she can really choose which one she wants to do. And most of the days she chooses writing because she likes to write and draw. So that's how it works for my older one. For my younger one, little bit of tracing and drawing, as long as she's doing something with us. That works.
Yeah, it's fun how sometimes the younger siblings, they look at what the older siblings are doing. Or I guess in my house, so I have a daughter who's 10 and a son who's 13. And my daughter's usually the one who jumps in, and then she's the one who kind of brings her brother along with whatever she's come up with.
Yes, I didn't really teach a lot of things to my younger one. She has learned from my older daughter because they play teachers at home, so they learn like that.
Yeah, so actually, I'll add that we had a post recently about like students, kids acting like a teacher, like teaching an adult, and like how excited they get when they get to pretend to be the teacher, because then I think they get to really show off their knowledge on a subject. Yeah. Okay. So there's 4 different activities, and the first one that's featured in the post, it's a craft, and it has to do with addition. And you made these beautiful slides for each. Yeah, they're gorgeous. So I'm gonna I'm gonna bring the addition activity, the slides, into the stream. And I just want to encourage everybody, like, so the link is in the description of the video, and you can click through, and all 4 activities have these beautiful digital slides to help you, show you how the activity works, and you can, either print them or, show them on your device, share them with your kids. So you tell me what to do. When do I go to the next screen, and you tell us like how this the craft and the addition activity work.
I'm glad you asked me that question. Why craft with addition, right? Or you might think, because, again, I have to incorporate 2 children together. So I asked my younger daughter to make the craft, and then we make the worksheet together so that my older one, she can do the math work. And you can go to the next slide. I can show how we did it. So you will need very simple things like tissue paper, sequins, whatever you have at home. And sometimes when you're asking your child to hold the sequin or making the flower with those tissue paper, it helps in fine motor development. They're pinching, they're holding, so that helps in fine motor development for your younger child if you have one at home. Even for our older kids, they enjoy making artwork, right? Instead of giving one monotonous worksheet, if you make it fun, it is more engaging for them. So that is why craft and math together here. You can go to the next slide. We can see how it works. Thank you. So you can see, you can ask them to make anything. They can make a flower garden. It depends on your child's interest, obviously, how much they can do. If they're in kindergarten, they will love doing this kind of worksheets, because I have seen in my class, they love this because they do not think they're doing math. They think that they're making craft work. So that's why craft and addition together.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, it's just beautiful. Like the little flowers out of tissue paper, they look so delicate, and
Thank
and
you.
kids, yeah, and kids can like they can make it their own. They can find their own way, whatever they think the flower should look like, right? Like you said, then they're not thinking, oh, I'm doing math. They're like, ooh, look at the
Yes.
flowers.
And you can even differentiate your activity. For example, if your beginning beginning of kindergarten, they will be probably doing only two numbers. You can ask them that, oh, how many blue flowers do you see? They can just count and write. You can differentiate like that. It doesn't have to be addition. It can be only counting. It can be adding two colors. You can say blue and yellow. That way, if it is easy, then they will like to do it, and then you can actually take it from there to little higher level. Okay, let's count all three of them and add all three of them together.
Mhm. Okay. Do we go to the next slide?
No, I want
Oh
others
yeah.
to see it from our link.
What was that?
Yeah, if you want, you can show it. Otherwise, they will explore it from the link you have provided.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this is the
Yeah.
other one, the addition. Here, actually, I have used the sequence because children, they love sequence. So I asked my daughter, "What do you want to do?" And she gave this idea of making clouds with sequence. So that's why we did this. You can use
Yeah.
stickers if you have stickers at home. They are also very good.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And like you said, good for fine motor because as they're holding the little sequins, they're picking them up and placing them. Then,
Yes, and
yeah,
in them, yeah. And there is a very fun song for that. Dot dot, not a lot for glue. So if you put little bit of glue, that's also another fine motor development. How to put drop of glue.
hmm yeah. And even though this is a math activity, the fine motor is something that helps with writing, right? Like being able to grip a pencil or a crayon.
Yes,
Okay, let's see. Is it? And then that's the last page, right? Of
yes,
the.
yes. This is.
Okay, great.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and yeah, I encourage readers to like go visit the blog post, and then there's in the blog post there's an image to represent each slide. But if you click through, then you can get all the pages for the slides, and see the whole materials and the procedure and how it works. So okay, so I'm going to go back to just our faces in the stream. There we go. Okay, now
That was
we're
the
back to
hope that.
conversation.
Yes, so that they can see, if you can see, what you have to do instead of reading through procedure. I'm a very visual person. I like to look at the picture and do it. So that's why I thought it's going to work better.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm glad we took an in-depth look at that activity. So we're not going to click through to all the slides, for all the other procedures, but I did want readers to know about, what other activities they should look for. Because I think this post is different than some of our other posts would kind of focus on one activity for a range of ages. But what's great about this is that it's for like the families with young kids, and I think distance learning may be especially hard for young kids because they're just kind of stuck in the house and
I know.
um,
Yes,
I
it's really hard for
think
them.
and I think it's harder for us as adults to remember what it was like, to be a young kid and kind of adapt things to that to that level. So that's how I think these are super important. Okay, so after addition, the next one it's also math, but it's subtraction, and it's designed. It uses manipulatives, which are these little connector rings. So tell us about like why using manipulatives as a math activity.
Yes. So when I'm teaching in classroom, addition is pretty easy. You say 2 plus 2, and children will be counting their finger or anything. It's very easy to look at the pictures and count 2. But when it comes subtraction, you need something hands on. You need those manipulatives, and you have probably seen my cards, the number word cards that I made. They have those counters drawn so that they can do it on their own. So that is why the picture as well as the counters together, they can check if they're going on the right directions or what they have to do. So that is why the manipulatives, For example, if you're doing any kind of activities, manipulatives are probably the best way of teaching anything. But especially for subtraction, I have seen in my own classroom, it helps so much. When you give them connectors, counters, counting pairs, anything you have at home, just ask them that, can you try it out? How does it work? 8 minus 5, how many do you have now? So that's why I have put the counters in it.
Yeah, yeah, and I like how like the cards, it's showing them what to do, and well, I guess I think one of the really important things for math is to understand that the numbers aren't just made up. They're to represent things in the real world,
Yes.
right? And so like if they're seeing so there's lots of different ways that they're looking at the numbers. They're looking at the numbers like as like the number 3, but there's also like the 3 circles on the card, and then there's like the 3 rings that they get to snap off their string of connectors. So yeah,
Right. Yes.
yeah.
So sometimes when you do, for example, 3 minus 0, that concept is something you need those counters, you need those connectors. Otherwise, it's a little difficult concept for a child to understand what am I taking away. Then when you're using a book or a worksheet, nothing is going anywhere, right? You have
Hmm.
all of them together. So I have seen children find that very difficult to understand that what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? So that is why if you use manipulatives at home, or maybe you can use stickers, just take those away, or something that you have at home. Especially right now, I cannot say that you have to gather a lot of things. Only the things that you have at home, use them. Sometimes you can do with those little blocks that they like to play with, the Legos. Those are very good too.
Hmm. I remember doing gosh, I used some pinto beans, I think,
Oh yes,
yeah, that was like because we just had a whole big bag of them. You could go up pretty high. Yeah, I remember I was one of those kids that was good at doing the formulas, but then as things got more complicated, I didn't really have a sense of what it meant. And so so sometimes I'd get it the plus or like I get positives and negatives just opposite because I wasn't thinking about what it meant in the real world, or like word problems were harder because I wasn't connecting up the formula. So it's like I could just do the formula, I could follow the directions, but I didn't have a sense of what it really meant.
yes. Hands-on activities are great for those.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and it builds such a good foundation
Mm.
for them, as it gets more complex, right? Because like early math, it's it's important. They take it seriously because it's laying the foundation for the advanced math that they're going to do later. They'll unlock like the cool science stuff that they can do, right? Like when they get to high school or college. Yeah. Okay, so after subtraction, then there's the measurement activity. And I looked at this, I was like, this looks so simple, but I could see them like really putting some time in to doing the measuring, right? And there's different, so tell us about like how you extended that. Like what are the different things they measure, and what was it like for your daughters when they got to play with it?
Yes. So my kids, they love doing measurement because when we are baking or cooking, they're my helpers. So, the only thing that they can do is measuring flour, measuring oil, water, because they get to be mommy at that time. So that's the fun part there. So, and I have never taught them that you will be pouring only 1/4 of a cup. But I found it that they are looking at the box and they're looking at the number, which is 1/4. Now they do not really know, but they're doing it because they can see the same measurement in my cup too. So that is why I found that they find the measurement very interesting. And here I want children to find out what is the difference. Like you have one cup of water, which is only 1 cup, and then you're pouring it in a bigger cup, measuring cup, and you think the water is less. There is an aha moment for my younger one. She will say, oh, it's going to be less. But then she sees that, oh no, this is 1 cup of water here in that one measuring cup. That can be same somewhere else, but look different, right? So that's
Right,
why
right.
I have incorporated that activity. I want children to find
Yeah.
it. That's an experiment.
Yeah, yeah, seeing the awareness happen. That's so
Yes,
cool. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. And it's a good thing where if they make a mess, it's no big deal. It's the kitchen. It's just water, right? Or it's just flour. It's no big deal, right?
yes. And
Yeah.
sometimes they feel that they will get that confidence when you are probably cooking. You can just tell them something to do, And instead of watching phone and iPad, I love them doing those things.
Yeah, yeah. And just be and that's I mean we are all home together a lot and but if we can find things to do together, then it makes it makes good memories, right? They'll remember being in the kitchen and
Yes.
getting to help. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so after the measurement activity, you also have the writing activity, but it's a to describe a process and it's
Uh-huh.
interactive between like the adult and the child. So tell us about the interactive writing. You said your second grader loves writing. She said that's what you said that's what she chooses to do a lot. So
Yes. That is probably formed because I wanted both of them to be there and do something. And the concept of interactive writing is they will be writing with one of the parents. With the different, I have shown peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So when the child is doing it, they will need your help because for my second grader, probably she can sound it out and do it. But I can do the same activity with a kindergartner. The only thing is the tough words I'm going to write. And they will be writing the sight words that they know or the words that they can sound out. And if you have even younger than that, somebody who's in pre-K, you can ask them to put the finger space for them. So it can be a whole family activity so that you incorporate everybody's input in there.
yeah. And
That's
I
why
think you mentioned too, like young children can also draw pictures to go with it, right? They can but they can still think about sequence
yeah.
and like what steps happen, right?
So one suggestion for that, before you do any kind of process writing, I would always suggest that do it at home. It's very simple. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich will not require a lot of stuff that you do not have at home. So you can do it and they will observe what are the steps. Okay, step one is getting a plate, getting the bread, peanut butter and jelly. Even those can be divided into 2 days activity. You do not have to do all of it on the same day. It can be writing the ingredients on one day, and then the second part can be on another day. That way she's not feeling overburdened with the writing, and you can divide it in your own pace too.
Yeah, yeah, it's building up habits. And then, yeah, I think the peanut butter jelly sandwich is a great example because it's something that almost every family is going to have the ingredients for that at
Yes.
home. But if you were wanting to tailor it to what your kid is interested in, you could ask them, right? Like, how do you build the Lego superhero or
Oh
something,
yes.
right? And they could talk about the steps that they did. Or
My daughter did lemonade the other day. She wanted to make some lemonade for everybody. So I said, okay, maybe next time when you're writing, you can write the process. What did you do for lemonade? It can be, and interactive writing is very helpful for all age group, depending on their level of writing. It's very helpful, and I have incorporated, especially thinking that a kindergarten child who's just writing, she can also write a little bit. A first grader who knows how to write, she has her own level. So interactive writing can be used with any age group and in
yeah.
any season too. It can be packing something for summer vacation. It can be wrapping gifts for Christmas. Anything that you want to get.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's an activity you can keep revisiting and
Oh yes, yes,
yeah. And this is the kind of thing where if you build a habit, then kids get more comfortable with it and they don't have to
yes.
feel intimidated about it, right? That like
One more thing I will mention that since you are writing as a parent, you can model how you want them to write. All the time we tell them do this work like we show the picture, right? When in classroom as well, we do the same thing that we show them on the board, or when we are writing, we turn on the document camera and let them see how the teacher is writing, so that they try to model. I mean, imitate us when we are modeling. So that is a
right.
very important thing that I feel that all parents, if they can do that with their children.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that's important. Like sort of our overall project with right. So this post will be on our summer learning page. Even though it's like, oh, it's almost time for school to start, but what we're wanting to do is parents to don't feel intimidated just because you think, oh, I'm not a teacher. It's like, well, we're talking to teachers, like we're getting the advice for you, but these are all things that are very doable for families to do at home and help their children, keep learning and maybe get caught up, since campus is closed in the spring, right?
And it can be modified. if you do not have any ingredient or anything that you do not have, the sequins can be replaced with stickers, and you can replace the counters with something else that you have at home. They are very easy to do at home. So that is why I have posted all those activities. I have tried at home first so that I know if you can do it or not. And then I have written those down. And we did it at home with my children.
Yeah.
They like.
Yeah. 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 Um, so are there any things you want else to add about the activities? Because I also wanted to ask you about your school, about SST Northwest.
Oh, yes. So, in terms of practicing, I would say that just keep it fun, because we do not want to make their practice monotonous. Of course, they will be doing at school, but I, as a parent, feel that I should be contributing to their little bit of practice that they are doing. So that's why I love practicing with them. That would be my suggestion, that have fun with your kid when they're doing the work, you are practicing with them, anything, have fun. That's the best part, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. I think that sounds great. These are such beautiful presentations, and I think it would give parents a feeling of security that, it's like, okay, here's, these are we have. It's not hard to find the materials. Talk to your kids, say, okay, it's time for some learning, and like you said, make it fun, and then it can be part of a habit, and it reinforces this, schedules and kind of having a sense of stability in their home life too. So
uh, about the schedule, I wanted to say, once we go back to school, even then, if you want to do during the weekend, you can make a schedule that only on Saturday morning we'll be doing this. Only on
right.
Saturday morning I'll be reading with my child. I mean, it's very simple, but scheduling helps them to understand that, okay, this is coming next. That's a big part with, especially early childhood, I would say, because they want to know what is coming next. So if you make a
Yeah.
schedule for your child, especially for, I would say, when we go back to school or before we go back, if you want to make a schedule for your child at home, that helps quite a lot. That gives them the mental security. Oh, that is going to happen next. So,
Yeah, yeah, and that's something where, as part of distance learning, like, parents kind of need to fill in that gap, because when they're on campus, there's a predictable schedule, and depending on how distance learning works, sometimes the time shifts around. But as parents, we can create that stability because, like you said, young children, they want to know what's coming next, and we can help them with that.
I know, yes, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so I want to ask you about the school where you teach at. So at School of Science and Technology Northwest. Just tell us what you like about your school.
Oh, I love my school. So I live right in the neighborhood. So I have seen it growing. I mean, ever since the school is here, I wanted to work there. This is going to be my second year working. We have great administration. And especially when we talk about our school, we are very family friendly school. Our main focus is to see how our family and how we can help the children as well as their family. So you probably know Mr. De Leon. He's a very good educator, and he has a great vision for our school. So I would always suggest anybody from our neighborhood or from little far, you can make it. School of Science and Technology Northwest is a great place. We are
Yes.
always here to welcome you.
And it's the mascot is the narwhals, which I think is
Yes.
wonderful. and, and
Yes.
sometimes Mr. De Leon, sometimes he comes in and plays the ukulele for the students, right?
Yes, and he has a great vision about education, and he's a great personality. Children love having him in the classroom. When he comes to our classroom to play a song or to read a book, children just love having him in the class. So, and we have our dean of student and our vice principal. They are also very good. I mean, they know their job and they have a great vision. They're very invested in our school. So
Yeah.
that makes a great difference in children's future.
Yeah. And y'all have outgrown the portables, and now you have a campus, right?
Yeah, a beautiful campus. You should come and visit us.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this is the website to find
Yeah,
Northwest SST Northwest on the website. And then if you just go to ssdschools.org, that would help you find, where the other campuses are, right? So there's a new one on the far west side opening up, and there's Alamo on the northeast side, and right, like the original, like the main campus on at 410 and Nacogdoches. So yes, so this is where families can go if they want to apply for their kids to go to SST Northwest, and they can navigate to find the other SST campuses in town.
Yes. We love SST. We work like a family. So whoever is coming, they feel that same comfort in our school too. We are going to have plenty of new teachers, and I mean, we are becoming a bigger family now. So yes, we are always there to welcome others.
Yeah, no, I every time I've been able to, visit a campus or, talk to SST teachers or administrators, I just always come away with a feeling of inspiration and creativity, and just that, that you guys are helping students to live up to their potential, and just really, really exciting lives with all the stuff they get to explore.
Yes. As I said, we work as a family. Our principal, vice principal, they are very much invested in our success as well as children's success. So it makes our job very easy. They know what they're expecting from us. So we have that from so that helps quite a lot.
Yeah, that's good leadership. Yeah. So, well, do you have
Yes.
any advice for families as we kind of, heading into the weekend, and, how they can, get their kids involved with learning at home?
I mean, weekend, I really do not ask children to work a lot. So it's up to you. If you want to read a book, that's a great activity, I feel. Because, nowadays, since we read even from iPad, it's becoming an obsolete thing. I love keeping books in my house, but my daughter, she's reading the books from iPad because we have reading A to Z and other apps. But I think that is something I would try to teach my kid, that get a book, hold the book, and even if you smell the book, it has a different smell. So that's something I would like all the parents to do with their children. And especially spending time with your child is a great thing. I feel that helps in development quite a lot. When I play with my child, I try to hear them talking. And sometimes I find they're using big words that I didn't even teach them. So that's something I find that aha moment in my life. Oh my God, my daughter knows this. So spending time with your child helps quite a lot in their social development, emotional development. And
Yeah,
those are very important for intellectual development, because
yeah,
once they're comfortable, then they grow like a flower.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's really good advice. Okay, so parents, so grab a book with your kids this weekend, smell the book, right?
Yes, on
Spend time
time.
with your kids, listen to them, see, find out maybe they know words that you didn't know they knew. And yeah, and it helps, spending time with your kids helps them grow.
Do you
Yeah.
remember your experience when we buy the new books? There is a different smell, right? After you put
Yes.
it on your shelf, it becomes different. But when you get a new book, I still remember that after buying the book, I would touch its new cover and everything is so different, right? So I tell the same thing to my daughter. Check the book out first before you go to the iPad.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun. Yeah. I love paper books. Even
Yeah.
though I read books on Kindle, I listen to audiobooks, but because I love books in all forms. But there's something really special about a brand new book and getting to crack the cover open. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been such a wonderful conversation, Ms. Gupta. I'm so thankful for your blog post and for coming on Charter Mom Chats to like help explain to parents like how to bring this to life. And
For having me.
yeah. Okay. So I look forward to sharing this with our readers and spread it around. So thank you so much.